everyone, and welcome to WGBS TV Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. My name is Steve Eunice. In tonight's show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including what's being the voice cast for Injustice, the animated movie. We're going to talk about the latest episode of Superman and Lois, comic books, Eisner Award winners, and so much more. This is our July 26th show, and the man right next to me is my good friend, my co-host, Michael Bailey. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Doing well, and yourself?
Oh, man, it's just hot. Yeah, I've been miserable for about a week now, so it's been pretty lousy. But other than that, I mean, everything's fine. It's just hot.
Well, it's not hot here, as you can tell. I'm being very festive with Christmas in July, and the fact that it's winter here means that this is probably the only appropriate time to wear this ugly sweater, because Christmas here is stinking hot. So I can imagine what you're going through right now.
That is not an ugly sweater, sir. That is a very nice sweater. I like that sweater.
I just walked into the room earlier with my wife, and she looked at me and she just like stared at me, and she goes, "I actually don't know what to say." She had no words. So
I'm used to that. That happens to me all the time.
Very good. All right, we've got a lot on this show's topic list, a lot to get through in tonight. So people already asked me, how cold does it get here in Australia? Depends on where you live. Here we don't get snow or anything where I live in Sydney. It does get down close to freezing, but not really that cold. But I guess it's all relative depending on what you're used to.
Yeah, I was about to say, it doesn't get, compared to other parts of the United States, doesn't get that cold here either. But we,
all right,
I'm just looking
to tonight's topics. And if you're wondering what the background is behind me, it is the vinyl cover for the recent release, or the upcoming release, of Superman the movie's vinyl record from I think it's Mondo, but we'll get into all that in a second. But we will start with the voice cast for the upcoming Injustice animated movie. Has been announced. The Hollywood Reporter announcing that Justin Hartley will voice the role of Superman.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of surprising. I mean, it's interesting. I don't. It's not like I'm really like super excited about it, but I'm not like, wow, that's gonna suck. It's nice for him dipping his toe back into the Superman waters, since he was Green Arrow for, what was that, 5 seasons?
On Smallville?
Yeah, 5 seasons. Yeah, he's Green Arrow. But yeah, no, it's an interesting animated cast overall, but that was kind of the standout.
Yeah, and for those who are not familiar with Justin Hartley, there he is there on our screen. So the other cast members, we've got Laura Bailey as Lois Lane, Anson Mount as Batman, Zach Callison as Damien and Jim Olsen, and other actors in there that nobody really jumps out at me as anybody. Obviously, Yuri Lowenthal as Mirror Master. We've had Yuri play Superman before. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe he wasn't he Young Justice?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's both Superman and Superboy on that show.
But Kevin Pollak as the Joker and Jonathan Kent. Wow, that's pretty versatile.
Yeah. Oh, and yes, Mark Lax does point out Justin Hartley was also Aquaman in that pilot.
Right. Yes. That never made it to TV. The pilot of an Aquaman TV series that was going to happen and never did, but ended up coming on as the Green Arrow on Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's interesting cast members for the upcoming animated movie Injustice, which will be released around September, October, the spring in US of 2021. So, sorry, not spring, fall. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Always get those mixed up, but I think it's about September, October, later this year anyway. We'll be looking forward to seeing Injustice, the animated movie, based obviously on the was it video game and then comic books, or the other way around?
It was a video game, and then there was a comic book to tie into the video game.
That's right. So yeah, we'll look forward to that. Injustice, the animated movie, and that's the voice cast for that. And then on the other the movie side of things, I was interested to note that the DC shop are already selling DC League of Super Pets merchandise and apparel via their DC shop. Obviously, there's t-shirts, pullovers, uh, tank tops, and other merchandise available, some apparel there with the official logo for DC League of Super Pets, the animated movie that, as we know, stars Dwayne The Rock Johnson as the voice of Crypto.
I guess they're really. It's kind of weird that they're ramping up for it now when I
Yeah,
don't think it's coming out
early.
till next year.
That's right. I'm surprised it's already out there, available. I don't think many people will even be aware of the fact that there is an animated movie coming out, let alone be interested in purchasing merchandise at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is, and they're getting out there early. So I guess the more people that are wearing it, the more likelihood that people will be interested in the movie. Bit of pre-promotion. And as I mentioned, the background behind me tonight is the soundtrack cover, the artwork for the cover for the upcoming Superman the movie soundtrack re-release. It is from Mondo, and they've unveiled the first look at the artwork for this particular re-release, which has already been released. Friday, July 23rd, it was released. It's the Williams score to the 1978 classic, in both a splattered and limited edition and non-limited edition release, black edition release. So that is pretty cool artwork, I must say.
Yeah, I'm surprised it took this long to get it re-released on vinyl, but
Mm,
not entirely sold on that artwork though.
really, what don't you like about it?
I I just don't like the color scheme of the skyline in the S. I don't know why. It just isn't working for me. I mean, I like the idea. You have the kind of skyline above it, and then the Fortress of Solitude in the lower part of it.
Mm,
But I just think that just a black cover with that silver S is just sharper.
bit more classy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't mind it myself. It uses the almost the red, yellow, and blue motif, kind of color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess it's kind of got that Art Deco type of appeal to it as well. So if you're interested, you can purchase this from Mondo Records, mondo.com, and it features all new artwork by DKNG Studios. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That Superman the movie lettering makes it look like a cheesy compilation album from the '70s, put out by Casablanca Records. It's kind of funny,
Well, I guess
but
from the 1970s.
I do appreciate that they're putting it out because when they did that latest version of the soundtrack on CD and digital, they redid the original album as well.
Mm.
So it just makes sense that now we just drop it on vinyl.
Yeah, indeed, and vinyl is still a very popular medium for a lot of people for the fidelity of sound. They much
Hmm.
prefer it to digital, but yeah, so it is available mondo.com. Now, speaking of Superman the movie, sadly, once again, the Superman in Concert event that was supposed to be taking place at the Royal Albert Concert Hall in London, England was originally back on October 2020, then it got pushed to March 2021, then July 2021. Now it's been further pushed back because obviously the pandemic to Saturday, June 25th. So
2022.
2022, yes, exactly. So it's been pushed off a fair bit, unfortunately, but still happening. So if you've got tickets, you purchase tickets, and they're still honor them, so you don't have to go repurchase them or get your money back or anything like that. If you're still interested and you purchase tickets for Superman in concert, they're still valid. The new date, is now, as I said, June 25th, 2022. So you just have to wait a little bit longer and be a little bit patient, and hopefully that doesn't get pushed back any further beyond that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it is what it is, and you can understand that these things happen. But this will obviously celebrate the Superman the movie soundtrack, played in with John Williams' triumphant original score, performed by the Royal Philharmonic Concert Orchestra, live to picture as you watch it on the big screen there at the Royal Albert Hall. So if you can and you're interested, June 25th, 2022. All right, so pushing on, if a little bit closer to home for, as in time-wise, and in the US there, I did mention that. Sorry, that's past. I was looking at the Normal Theatre, Normal, Illinois. I think we mentioned that last week that Superman the movie was screening there this week. That has now passed. So, but I did want to mention our good friend Aaron Price, who is a big Superman fan and has done some amazing work um, doing some of the special effects in certain of the older Superman movies. He's given a chance doing some work on the Superman 4, the Quest for Peace movie. One of the biggest problems a lot of fans had with Superman 4, amongst the many things that people had problems with, was the fact that Lacey Warfield was taken into space by Nuclear Man, and then somehow she dropped to Earth when he let go, of course, of his powers diminishing. And a lot of people thought that was really hokey, and it didn't work because you can't scream or breathe in space. So Aaron has gone and redone the special effects on this. It's amazing work that he's done. Have a look at what he's done to fix up the demise of Nuclear Man at the end of Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. There you have it. That's Aaron Price's reproduction or redoing of the Nuclear Man demise scene from Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. You'll notice there he swapped out the space part of it. And he's also changed the way that Superman ends up putting Nuclear Man instead of putting him in a nuclear silo where he then ends up powering up the rest of the city. He ends up dropping him into a black hole. And he kind of explains that the black hole kind of sequence is kind of the background for that is when Superman disposed of the hydrogen bomb from Superman 2 and it released the villains, the energies of both the Phantom Zone and the bomb created a hole in space, resulting in a wormhole. And now with Nuclear Man being dropped into that, his powers and everything else going on kind of dissipates the black hole once and for all.
It would be interesting to see, like, the whole movie redone like that, and if it would make it more palatable to people, and also including some of the deleted scenes. There's a fan edit out there that has like the most complete version of that of the film, that actually has like pages from the comic adaptation, because none of the footage of Clark and Lacey dancing in the nightclub have survived.
And Justin's going, "What? Did Superman just kill the Nuclear Man?" Well, to be fair, he's not really a living I mean, he was the clone. I don't know. Does that count?
Yeah, he's an artificial being created by Lex Luthor. So the morality of whether or not he's alive or not is
Debatable.
yeah.
So that is really well done from Aaron Price. He does some really good work with his special effects recreations that he has done. Before we move away from the movie side of things, the new Space Jam film is out in theaters at the moment. Space Jam: A New Legacy with LeBron James in the lead role, and Superman the animated series, the Metropolis from there, kind of makes a bit of a cameo appearance, if you like. There's a whole sequence there where Superman and some of the Justice League members do make an appearance, and Daffy Duck is dressed as in the Superman costume as he has wont to do in the past, with Stupid Duck and episodes like that. Here are some of the images from that sequence. But we also had one of our reviewers, Michael Marino, do a bit of a review and a summary of that particular scene from Space Jam: A New Legacy. If you're interested, you can read that, and you can go see the movie itself out in theaters and on HBO Max now. Anything of interest there for you, Michael?
In the
Space Jam?
I no. I think I said on a previous episode that I hated the first one because it just took over the Warner Brothers store. So I'm just not a big.
Not worried about it.
It's
Not in your wheelhouse.
yeah, it's kind of cool that the animated version shows up though. That's neat.
So yeah, check out that review on our website right now. All right, this is like a mixture between the movie and television side of the world of Superman. Collider.com earlier this week reported on the fact that Michael B. Jordan and his production company Outlier Society are reportedly working with HBO Max to produce a TV series focused on the character of Val Zod. What do you think?
I'd be up for it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think HBO Max is big enough that it can do have everything from everything from everything. That doesn't make any sense. To do kind of these off model versions of the characters getting their own movie or short run television series. So yeah, why not? More power to them.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting. It's obviously a limited episode series based on the character of Val Zod, a black Superman from a different reality. Um, Kind of interesting timing though, because obviously we know that J.J. Abrams and his production company are working with scriptwriter Tanahashi. I can't remember exactly how you pronounce his name. Um, Tanahashi Coates working on
Mm-hmm.
a different Warner Brothers movie script for a Black Superman. I mean, is this kind of like a clash of ideas, or is it like there's room for more than one Black Superman? Is there
I
much
guess there's.
desire for that?
It could be that executives are getting cold feet with the
Movie?
feature,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Well, we've made all this big deal out of it. Let's just, let's still do it, but we'll do it on HBO Max, and then have a more traditional Superman in the in another film." But
Mm.
that's just pure speculation on my part.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know where Collider's getting their sources from. They say sources that, say that, so whenever anyone says sources or our sources or whatever, you just don't know what the legitimacy of their, information, where it comes from. But yeah, I guess we just have to watch this space, see what comes of it, if
Mm-hmm.
anything does, and it'll be interesting. I would watch a limited series on HBO Max about whether it's Val Zod or um, any other version of Superman. Calvin Ellis is what Michael B. Jordan's previously been talking about. But yeah, we'll wait and see where this goes, if it goes anywhere at all.
Calvin Ellis would be. I don't know. What would you do with him? How limiting would be a President Superman be? That's kind of weird.
Mm. Yeah, we'll wait and see if these two projects can go ahead side by side. I guess I said watch this space. We'll keep you informed as we hear of anything more about this particular project. All right,
Mm-hmm.
let's turn our attention to the television side of the world of Superman. And this past week, we saw episode 13 of season 1 of Superman and Lois air on TV. It was titled Failsafe. And in this particular episode, we had the whole, Morgan Edge
Mm-hmm.
thing come to its head. He pretty much got his backstory a little bit more. He what did he do? Sacrifice himself at the end there so he could be taken over by the Eradicator. It wasn't really clear what he did, but it was almost like he doesn't exist anymore, so that the Eradicator can now become, take over his body.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it too, and I also got out of it that was um, his father's plan all along. Like, that's kind of evil to have like your son go to another planet just to have his personality subsumed. I'm just mad that I didn't catch that this is what they were going to do sooner.
Oh, right, okay.
It's pretty obvious now that I think about it, and I like that they're doing it because it's, I think, the first live action Eradicator that we've gotten.
Yeah,
So.
well, it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens in the upcoming episodes with that storyline. We also obviously got the problems that the Cushings are having with people from Smallville alienating them, ostracizing them. They were putting their trust with the mayor of Smallville, who's pretty much backstabbed them to get leverage for his own,
Mhm.
to pull himself out of the hole that people might see him as being part of that whole process. Pretty nefarious by him, but not unexpected.
Yeah, this was just a great episode, all over the place. I loved the writing, I loved the acting, I liked seeing the characters just kind of talking about what happened,
Yeah,
and what they want to do with it, and Jonathan learning that the good-looking girl may just be using you.
yeah. Well, Patrick Van Pelt in the comments asks about that. Tegan and John going off together. She was just using him to get the inside goss on what was happening, what he knew about it.
Hmm.
So yeah, he got used, I guess, in a way there, which I felt sorry for him. It was funny the kind of the correlation of both boys ditching school, and both getting caught out, but one got caught out because he was off with a girl, and the other one got caught out because he got arrested being off
Yes.
with a girl.
Yeah,
So it kind of escalated for Clark and Lois.
my one of my favorite parts, though, was this episode was proof that if Sam had come to talk to Superman about the kryptonite, he would have been more amenable to Sam having it, or
Mm.
at least somebody he trusts having it. So I liked that portion of the episode too. And again, at the end, I'm like, they've got 2 episodes left. Where else are we going to go from here?
Again, it felt like a finale in many ways, but yeah, it's obviously not. What did you make of Superman telling John Irons about wanting him to be the one who, has the power to decide about these weapons that could kill him, to hold them, almost like
Yeah,
giving Batman the kryptonite ring back in the comics.
I think it works out
Mm.
perfectly rationally for the characters involved. I mean, that, John Henry wouldn't hesitate. He he if something had to be done, he would do it, and Superman knows that. And I kind of like the fact that Superman was mature enough as a character to be like, no, 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 I can't do this.
Mm.
These people have got to have a way to protect themselves against me.
Mm.
Lois is also right. Not stuff doesn't fall into supervillains' hands all the time. So.
Yeah. A couple of questions from John Patrick Van Pelt in the comments. Uh, Krypton was always going to explode. Uh, the Morgan Edge's father, whatever his name is, from Krypton, didn't have anything to do with the destruction of Krypton. He just found out, just like from Jor-El's warnings that Krypton was going to explode, and sent his son off, just like Jor-El did. Had nothing to do with the demise of Krypton. Krypton was always going to die. He just sent his son off to Earth, just like Jor-El did.
Yeah. Zeta Rho
Zeta
is Talro's father.
Yeah, and what else is John asking here? Which is more important, Clark telling Lois about their keeping 7734, or Jordan getting arrested because he skipped school and hung out with Sarah? Look, obviously 7734 is a bigger deal
Yeah.
in the wider scheme of things, but as parents, obviously they're concerned about their son getting arrested. And really, the whole arrest thing was just part and parcel of the fact that it's more that he was out with the Cushing girl, who's obviously everyone's, trying to have something against the Cushing family. And so what many of the kids have done many, many times on that bridge over the years, as Lana says, is blown out of proportion because of the current animosity towards the Cushing family.
Yes, absolutely. No, I liked all of it. It was a really good episode.
Justin is asking you if you're looking a bit tired there, Michael.
It's my eyes hurt. It's been a very long day, and my allergies were kind of acting up earlier, so I'm blinking a lot. Yeah, it's just a weird day. I apologize to everybody.
I saw you feeling your chest a little bit earlier. You've been in the gym too, getting a bit of pec work done.
A little bit, yeah. That's one of the reasons I was up at 6 this morning so I could go. I don't know. I'm not going to flex for the camera because you don't want to get demonetized for having weapons. These guns.
Oh,
yeah, I am a little sore because I do that pectoral fly thing.
Yeah.
The thing that does that, and that really. It's giving me a better exercise and a better definition than just doing a press.
Yeah,
so
full range of motion.
Mm-hmm. So,
Very
not
good.
that everybody wants to hear about my workout habits, but still.
Well, no, we do want to hear about Tyler Hoechlin's workout efforts, and
yes,
did an interview this week with was published this week in Men's Health magazine, in which he talks about his whole workout routine and the differences in his workout routine from just doing a couple of episodes when he was on Supergirl and doing the crossover episodes, now to having to maintain the look of Superman for an extended period, like 9 to 12 months for filming. It's really interesting from, both you and I, we're into, working out at the gym, and not that you could tell just looking at us, but, it's a real interest of mine to see, from his eating habits to his workout routine, just what is involved on that side of things to, be in Superman shape.
Yeah, it's like I think his thing is pizza that he has to give up. I remember from a previous interview, Hugh Jackman has to give up pasta, which is apparently like his big thing. Like you just can't eat any carbs like that when you're trying to maintain that physique. This is one of those things where Tom Welling had to stay in shape, but I don't think he had to stay in as ungodly shape as both like Henry Cavill or Tyler Hoechlin as Superman. So
yeah, he didn't have many shirtless scenes, but they seem to try to throw in every now and then a Tyler shirtless scene wherever they can. But he also talked about his auditioning process, and he was pretty much the only person that they spoke to, because they obviously had him in mind and wanted him. And he found out later, after doing a whole audition process and a long chat about what the character meant to him, that that was the only meeting they took for the character. So that's got to be kind of, on one hand, a nice feeling to know that you were the only one they were really considering, and on the second hand, why did I worry so much and go through such an agonizing process to be the only person they were looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that for the most part, I think there's like one or two exceptions. The casting for these shows has been perfect. So, it doesn't surprise me that they kind of had him in mind, uh, you know, beyond just making him jump through so many hoops.
Yeah, indeed. So if you want to check out that interview, it's on menshealth.com. But you can check out some of the excerpts from our website. All right, we're just at the halfway mark of tonight's show. We will come back to talk more Superman and Lois after the break, show you the upcoming trailer for the next episode, which is not for another week and a half. We'll get onto the final 2 episodes of Superman and Lois in a second, but let's play some messages. We're also going to come back on the flip side to do both our weekly segment, which we got so many responses for, record-breaking amount of responses, and our monthly segments, the big question and the super secret soundbite. We'll be back right after these messages.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying WGBS TV Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program. Just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by visiting patreon.com/Superman homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer. I'm the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
This Superman movie is brought to you by Canon, the world's leading camera manufacturer.
Quick, it's happy.
Canavision 8 camcorders.
I thought you were Superman, huh?
Hey, I am.
If it moves, shoot it with a cannon.
If it moves, shoot it with a cannon. All right.
Yes.
As I said, the trailer for the next episode of Superman and Lois, episode 14 of season 1, is titled The Eradicator. Here is the promo trailer for this next episode. Check it out.
Too many questions lead back to our family and the very secrets that keep you safe.
There's a bigger picture we're not seeing. We need to tell people the truth, no matter how scary it is.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
There you have it. That's the trailer for the upcoming episode of Superman and Lois, and it will air on Tuesday, August 10th. So you've got a little bit to wait. Again, a little bit of a break between episodes because of COVID restrictions and issues with filming. But August 10th, and then the finale will be on August 17th. So 2 episodes to go. Looking forward to seeing what they do with these final 2 episodes.
Yes, me too.
All right, so that's Superman and Lois, and we already know that the complete first season will be available on Blu-ray and DVD in the coming weeks, coming months. October 19th, we'll see the Blu-ray and DVD release of the complete first season of Superman and Lois. I think this will be an instant purchase for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, here is the, if I bring up the graphics for you, of the, I'm turning on things that I shouldn't be. there's the cover for the Blu-ray edition of Superman and Lois. Looking forward to seeing this come out and what the bonuses are, the extras. We've got featurettes named Superman Alien Spirit, Superman and Lois Legacy of Hope, which was that feature that aired straight after the pilot episode. One called Never Alone, Heroes and Allies, and then the DC Fandom panel Superman and Lois. So all 15 one-hour extended episodes are available on this Blu-ray and DVD release, which is really cool. Looking forward to seeing that.
Gaff, excuse me, asks if I think the Eradicator is still an appropriate name for the show to use. Absolutely. I mean, it is a comic book reference, but from it's not as descriptive as what the Eradicator was in the comics, but what they're doing with it is very much what the Eradicator was kind of all about, which was preserving Kryptonian life. So this is kind of taking that to an extreme.
Oh, let's move into that. That's a very popular fan. Before we get into that, we've got a super chat question from Patrick Van Pelt, up on our screen. Do you have any idea when will be streaming on Netflix? On do not know at this point in time. I imagine because it's available to stream on your CW app, that there's probably no point for them to release it on HBO Max or any other streaming service when they've got there right available to them. All right, so moving into the fan favorite question for last week. What was our question, Michael, to remind everyone?
What is your favorite Superman Blu-ray or DVD cover or packaging?
Mm-hmm.
And Ramo Tuncan, which I keep screwing up. There's only this is the only different kind of Superman Blu-ray packaging I have. It is the Man of Steel 3D Blu-ray Limited Collector's Edition with the S metal glyph case. It has the movie in 3D, regular Blu-ray, and DVD, as well as a special features disc.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ramel. I've also got David Rustage, who said, enjoyed your podcast. You asked for favourite Blu-ray packaging. I've sent photos of mine below. I live in Wales, UK, but the steelbook design is from Italy. Keep up the interesting and informative chats. Well, thank you, David. Appreciate you sending in your photos of your packaging right there. That's really cool.
Stephen Marshall writes, my favorite Blu-ray has to be my Man of Steel Limited Edition 3D collector set. Pick is not mine as it's packed away in a box. I imported it from the U.S. partly because we didn't get the Journey of Discovery interactive documentary on our copies here in the U.K., and also because it looked awesome. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that is a cool one. I've been looking at that at different stores when it came out. Really cool. Okay, we got Patrick sending this. Patrick O'Neill. My favourite DVD cover is the Superboy Season 4 DVD set. Not only is it a cool cover, I was able to get that version that Gerard Christopher signed.
That's neat.
Yeah, very cool.
Nayar and Kuvura. Okay, I'll go with that. Thank you for the pronunciation guides, y'all. We love the Jose Garcia Lopez art on the Superpowers videotapes of the mid '80s. It's pulling back a little bit.
Yeah, how cool is that? Very nice. Next up, we have from Ron Crosby. My favorite would have to be this Man of Steel box. It also serves as a sweet decorative piece as well, which I think is the same one that I think Patrick sent before. No, not Patrick. Stephen Marshall sent before. That is a really nice.
John Patrick Van Pelt wrote, long before we had such things as HBO Max or Hulu like we do today, we had to buy DVDs. Here's a picture of my Smallville and Superman the Animated Series DVDs, which I used to love to watch on Saturday mornings, on the WB, excuse me. Then later watching Smallville on the WB, now known as the CW.
Yeah, really cool. I like those packaging for the Smallville. Oh, pretty chunky packaging for the Smallville releases back in the day when they started getting a little bit smaller.
It's funny when I look at it on my shelf. Like the first 4 seasons are like those really thick plastic ones,
Yes.
and then the 5, 6, and 7 kind of are of a similar size, and then 8, 9, and 10, and it's almost like the DVDs as originally released showed how the show went into different eras by the size of the DVD collection.
Exactly. All right, then we have Ryan Ignatius Pratt, who wrote, "My favourite Superman home video cover art is from the Superman Ultimate Collector's Edition DVD set. Here are pics of the front and back covers of the steel-themed case, presenting the S from Superman the Movie and Superman Returns, respectively. They also have included 2 photos of the interior case's special lenticular cover. That is one of my favourites too. That is a really cool
Yes.
set as well. I've got that one. That would be one of the ones that I would bring out if I was going to show something.
It's funny too because I ordered it on Amazon and they weren't going to get it to me until like a week or 2 after. It was supposed to come out, so I canceled my order and just went to Best Buy the day it came out. So excited for that set. Jason Jaroslawski wrote, "Hello, Super Friends. I like the collage aspect of this DVD, although unfortunately it's missing Henry Cavill."
Yes, obviously it was released before that. It was released in conjunction with Superman Returns. That is a nice cover. Great representation of different Supermen from different eras. And lastly, we have this one from Robbie Eleanor, who wrote, "Hey guys, to me it was no question this week. My favourite Superman movie packaging had to go to the awesome packaging I have for the limited steel box for my very favourite Superman movie, Man of Steel." That's another one there, a vote for that particular one. Although it looks like the Italian release there, if I'm not mistaken, with a bit of
interesting.
Artwork under the text underneath. So thank you to everyone for sending in those fan favourite Superman DVD and Blu-ray packages. That is the best response that we received for any of our fan favourite questions ever. You got something in there?
Yeah, no, that was a lot.
What do you got there?
I dug out my favorite currently. I like it for 2 reasons. One, I like that the S symbol is kind of separate from the packaging. The packaging is attractive. And then when you take it out, it's got like kind of a nice yellow S feeling to it. This is basically everything that's on that 16-disc set, which is actually literally right over there right now. But I grabbed this one because I just like the fact that it's like one of the last of the original like Christopher Reeve films. This is like the last attractive packaging they've done for it in terms of home video release. The 4K cover is kind of boring, and the more recent releases of like all of them together is kind of boring. This one, it looks like some thought was put into it, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, really cool. So that was our fan favorite question from last week. What is our new question for this week, Michael?
What is your favorite Superman animated GIF? That's
this will be an interesting one. Hopefully we can show these. I haven't really looked at the technology with what we do, but animated GIFs. There are heaps of them going around, different memes and things that you can, with Superman GIFs. Send us your email us your Superman favorite, your animated GIF, and the email address for that is at the bottom of your screen right now, info@supermanhomepage.com. Get involved with this new fan favorite question by sending us your favorite Superman animated GIF. So that'll be an interesting one to check out next week. All right, let's move into the big question segment of our show.
Let's start with the big question.
All right, so last month, I should say, the big question was, looking for it here, what do you think of season 1 of Superman and Lois so far? What do you like and what don't you like? Who did we get responding to this question, Michael?
Ron Crosby wrote in first. He says, I like it a lot, but it isn't great. If I had to score episodes, I'd say most are solids, 3.5 to 4 out of 5. The flashback episode ranked as lower with the 2 out of 5. I'm interested in, and I am interested in, and like most of the Superman stuff, but not very interested in / dislike the Lois Jonathan Jordan stuff. I feel the CW-ness of the show really come out when it focuses on those characters, and I'm just not a fan of that stuff. I think Arrow and Flash had better first seasons, to be honest, but I am enjoying it.
Well, that's interesting. So I hear a lot of people who actually like the family drama stuff more than the Superman stuff. But I guess everyone's got their different tastes. Alfie Hospitelli said, so far I'm finding Superman and Lois highly enjoyable. Lois, Lana, and Sarah are very well cast. I hope future episodes focus on Lois at the Smallville paper. At first I thought Jordan's mood swings would get old, but both brothers have turned out to be an interesting entry into the Superman story. The only thing I find boring is that Morgan Edge's agenda is far too similar to Zod's in Man of Steel. Love the flashback episode, best thing I've seen of Superman on screen since Donna. That's interesting because Alfie loved the flashback episode where Ron said it was his lowest rated.
Stephen Marshall writes, I think Superman and Lois may be my favorite ever live-action Superman content. It's certainly making a great case for that. Also, Bitsy and Tyler may also be my favorite live-action Lois and Clark. The chemistry between the pair is off the charts. Plus, the show does a great job of respecting what came before without plagiarism, unlike some other shows. And so for dislikes, I don't really have a dislike, but I wish the score were a bit more prominent, as I think it can be far too subtle at times.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. The music really isn't a standout feature of the series. Like, it wouldn't be something that you would take note of. So John Rinaldi wrote in, the show got better. I don't like Bitsy Chulok's Lois Lane. She does not possess the charisma or acting chops to fill out the role. They should have gone with Emmanuel Chicory, who played Lana quite good as Lois. Chulok is much too wooden and her lines come off flat. Father, on the other hand, is terrific as Clark Kent Superman. He has the toughness to pull off Superman and the heart to pull off an effective Clark. Kids have evolved well. Morgan Edge is a great villain. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with him about Elizabeth Chulok.
I love her.
Really, they've got a lot of charisma. But anyway, like we said, everyone's got their own opinion.
Ryan Ignatius Pratt wrote, so far I've been enjoying Superman and Lois very much. What I like most is the great focus given to the Kent family. I also enjoyed Lois and Clark, each other having their own antagonists for the first half of the season in Morgan Edge and what was thought to be Captain Luthor, respectively. I look forward to Clark's battle with Tal-Rho and how John Henry will help. What I like least is the attention given to the Cushings. For whatever reason, I've yet to become interested in any subplot involving Lana's family.
Fair point. Thank you, Ryan. Patrick O'Neill wrote in. He said, I'm really enjoying Superman and Lois. I like the fact that we're getting to see a lot of the real person behind Superman with his interactions with the people who know his secret. Also think the show does a real nice job of balancing the seriousness and humor of the show. I like that the show takes the material seriously and there is gravity to the events happening without it being depressing. Also, there's some comedy without being campy. That's a tough middle ground, but they do a nice job. Yeah, nice, Patrick. Thank you.
John Patrick Van Pelt wrote in, I've been really enjoying season 1 of Superman and Lois on the CW. I enjoy watching the relationship grow each week between Clark Kent, Superman, Lois Lane, and the twin sons, Jonathan and Jordan Kent. I think it good that Jordan and Sarah are going together, because I think occasionally Jordan needs someone to talk to, especially when his dad can't always be there. And I think we are starting to see the same thing with Jonathan as well. I don't know why I lost my place there. I love seeing Jor-El in the Fortress of Solitude every time he shows up. I thought the flashback sequences were very good. There are a couple of things I don't like about season 1 of Superman and Lois. I didn't like Morgan Edge / Superman. I didn't like the Morgan Edge / Superman brother storyline at all.
Thank you, John. So yeah, some interesting thoughts there on Superman and Lois. Obviously, you and I have given our opinions week to week. Liking it for the most part, you absolutely love it. Thank you everyone for sending in your responses to our big question from last month. Our new question for this month is, would you watch a Val Dodd TV series? Give us your either way. Let us know. Get involved with the big question segment of our show. You'll find the big question feedback form under the contact menu at our website, supermanhomepage.com. All right, let's move straight into the super secret soundbite.
Only one thing alive with less than 4 legs can hear this frequency, Superman, and that's you.
All right, the super secret soundbite from last month was this sound right here. Let's play it again so that you can hear it.
I owe my life to you. What's your name?
Lex Luthor. Meeting you, Superboy, is about the most thrilling thing that's ever happened to me.
Got distracted.
You got distracted. This is that was the sound. We've got two people who guessed it right. Who were they?
Yes, Patrick O'Neill and John Patrick Van Pelt.
Congratulations to those two guys. The sound came from the Challenge of the Super Friends cartoon episode, History of Doom. Superboy meeting Lex Luthor for the first time. All right, let's see if more people can guess where this sound came from. Here it is, your new super secret soundbite.
Tell me, what is it like being with my son?
It's a recent one, so you shouldn't have too many problems guessing where in the world of Superman that sound came from. If you do know, head to our website, supermanhomepage.com. You'll find the super secret soundbite entry form under the contact menu. All right.
I like that you pulled from the Super Friends, though. We usually go like Smallville or something like that, but pulling from the Super Friends is really left field probably for some people.
Yeah, not a lot of people would remember necessarily the sounds or the voices, but yeah, two people got that one right. I was really impressed. That's a pretty cool result. All right, let's move into the comic book side of the world of Superman. And this past week saw a couple of Superman comic books come out. The big one, really, for most people, was Superman and the Authority #1, written by Grant Morrison. Did you happen? I know this one was on your radar. Are you waiting for the collected? Or?
I'm waiting for the trade on this one. I'm excited for it because I saw some really good buzz about it, and it looks really interesting. Still kind of weird that Manchester Black is going to be in the Authority, but life is weird.
Yeah, well, it's a really interesting opening to the miniseries with Superman approaching Manchester Black about joining him to help in his fight for what the story is going to evolve into. But our reviewer James Lance gave it a 3 out of 5, saying the story merits a 5, but it suffers from two things that bug me about modern comics, particularly miniseries. The first is that not much happens in this opening chapter, and the second is that it's really too early in this book to give the story an adequate rating because of just dialogue and a couple of character moments. But it's sometimes hard for a first chapter it kind of either sets up a lot of background and doesn't get onto the story that much, or it kind of does a lot of setup for upcoming issues.
Yeah, that was something I struggled with a lot when I was writing reviews regularly, is that sometimes you are reading one part of a larger story. So I guess you just kind of judge it based on how the issue made you feel. But sometimes feelings you have go away when something that happens later on in the story explains that. Yeah. So it's kind of a tough needle to thread.
Yeah. Quickly, the Eisner Awards took place this past week, and Superman Smashes the Klan and Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen both won awards. Jimmy Olsen won Best Limited Series and Best Humor Publication, while Superman Smashes the Klan won the Best Adaptation from Another Medium award. So congratulations to those people involved on that, and congratulations to the whole of DC after receiving 17 nominations across the board, winning a number of those different categories. So that's pretty amazing work. So well done. All right, looking ahead at what's available this week for Superman comic book fans, here is what you have to look forward to in the world of Superman comics. We have, just opening up the images right now. Okay, we have Action Comics 1033, which is available in a number of different variant covers. We also have Batman Superman number 20 out this week, and that is also available in a variant cover right there. Infinite Frontier number 3 is also out this week, and that is also available in a variant cover. Then we have the print edition of Ruby Justice League number 4, which is also available in a variant cover. Another big one this week, Superman Son of Kal-El number 1. The new series also has a variation of different variant covers from different artists that you can collect if you're so interested. And then in the collected side of things, Bizarro Comics, the deluxe edition hardcover, is also out this week. So that's what's available in the this week for comic book fans.
It's a big week for Superman.
It is. And this past weekend, Saturday, July 24th at 11 a.m. Pacific time, DC Editor-in-Chief Mary Javins led a super discussion for the Superman panel from Comic-Con at Home, which involved Tom Taylor, Philip Kennedy Johnson, and Grant Morrison discussing the future of the Man of Steel and his family of characters. The complete 30-minute episode video of that particular panel is available on our website if you'd like to check that out. Obviously, the interest there is with the new series starting out with Tom Taylor for Superman, Son of Kal-El, and Grant Morrison writing Superman and the Authority, and Philip Kennedy Johnson continuing on with Action Comics.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people making a big deal out of the Truth, Justice, and a better future. What is it? A better DC universe. Moving away from the American way, kind of thing.
To be fair, the American way was added for a specific reason. These things evolve. Superman is supposed to represent everybody. Though I do think they have struggled for years to get away from the American way. Remember, at one point, it was Truth, Justice, and the Terran way in the 70s.
Oh.
Okay. And it's just like, okay, that doesn't quite work, but whatever.
Exactly. All right, on the collected side of things for merchandise, there is a really nice fine art print titled The Justice League World's Greatest Superheroes, fine art print by artist Ian McDonald. Get rid of the Bizarro thing right there. So this fine art print is available from Sideshow Collectibles. They're taking pre-orders now. You can pick it up through our website. It is priced at $225 and limited to 600 copies, and should be arriving in August, September later this year. And I also wanted to pinpoint this garage door artwork that was done, a mural by an artist titled Tony Stafke from Walls of Art LLC. He revealed the Superman mural that he was commissioned to paint on a garage door in St. Paul, Minnesota. So that's a really cool little bit of artwork for someone's front of their home.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice.
Yeah, not mine. No. I don't have a garage like that, but I would definitely think about it.
Indeed. All right, well, that pretty much brings us to the end of tonight's episode. I want to thank everyone for watching tonight's episode of WGBS TV Live. I want to thank all those in the comments on YouTube for participating and asking questions, and your comments and your feedback. Really appreciate your involvement. And to you, my co-host, Mr. Michael Bailey. Thank you, Mike.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
And remember, if you'd like to, I should say thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick, Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And remember, if you'd like to support the Superman homepage, head to patreon.com/Superman homepage, or click the join button there on YouTube. There are different levels of perks for different levels of involvement. And Michael and I will be back next week for another edition of WGBS TV Live. We hope you'll join us then. We'll be back on, August 2nd at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another edition of WGBS TV Live. Look forward to talking to you then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for watching WGBS TV Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com.